Well, I have braved the cold, the frigid temperatures outside here in West Virginia to get down here and get some more work done on the Blur. What are we going to do today? Well, I need to pull the wiring harness completely out from the vehicle. That's the engine harness, the chassis harness, everything that leads from the engine, C500, C203, the K-Series breakout harness that I have. I don't think I'm going to pull the ECU. Well, I have to get that part of the harness. So get the ECU up, put it back up on the shelf. Let's see what else. We need to pull the IQ3 dash, the trim and surround, everything that we need, the wiring harness for that as well. We're going to head down to Garths. I'm going to show you how to, the process I should say, of what we're going to do to get all the measurements, enter that into whatever software program that he uses, and we're going to make a 3D printed mounting panel for the IQ3 dash and insert it into the Fiero stock Speedo housing. So I think flush mount is the way to go. I got that idea from Mike at Car's Garage on his K-swapped MR2, which is badass. We're going to have to pull the engine transmission back out of the car. I spoke to Antonio a few days ago, and I was concerned about the amount of play that we had in the shift lever, or not shift lever, which would be the throw-out bearing lever. It's got a lot of play there, where he was talking about on my build with the twin disc, there's absolutely no play whatsoever. And it turns out the throw-out bearing that came with this Hyper Single is specific to this clutch. So I need that back. He's going to have to get a stock Honda throw-out bearing. Actually, I probably just sent him this one, which is basically going to swap throw-out bearings. Glad we found out now before we got too far into it, and the engine has to come out anyway. I want to reroute the fuel lines like we talked about in the previous video. I just like the way I think that's going to turn out, and we're going to replace them all the way to the sending unit. The less fittings, less joints, the less places it can start leaking from. So let's get to work. That's our breakout harness. That's basically got our fuel pump relay, starter relay, whatnot. Of course, our Haltech Platinum Pro. These are the bulkhead fittings that I'm using to pass through the wiring, through the firewall. These are fantastic. They're Delphi style. That is the C203. I've already terminated it. So let's go ahead and get that out. C203. If anybody has a good skeleton, clearly mine's broken, I need one of these. Help a brother out. Funny story. I've had that skeleton, God, 10 years. It was given to me by Garths. Complete, undamaged, no brakes, nothing. That thing has literally hung up in my shed down in Florida for 10 years, untouched. And when we got the Blur, I said, man, I need a new skeleton because there was no interior in this. And then Garth reminded me that he gave me one. So I went on a hunt for a couple of days, and one day I was out in the shed, and there it was hanging up. So I was like, oh my God, I've got one. So I brought it, I put it in the garage at the house in Florida. Well, got everything packed up for the big move here. No problems whatsoever. It hung up there by my old motocross gear up on the ceiling. I don't know if you can see it there, but it sat there for 6 months. One day I walked by carrying something. I think it was the deck lid. I bumped it, it fell off, and it broke the radio housing trim piece right off. I was upset, but I actually glued it back together, and it was good enough to where I would be able to use it. I bumped it off again, and it broke it. And I was so mad I actually jumped up and down on it. So that ruled out any future use or repairs of that. I did that. Now, if you guys remember, this whole harness right here was cut in half because the previous owner, for some reason, didn't think that he could pull the wiring through the firewall, which is real easy. You just clip it and it pushes through, and you have to feed the whole harness out. Well, and we're going to call him an idiot because that's what you are if you cut the harness like that. Me and Brian spent a couple of hours stripping, soldering, and reconnecting this whole harness back together. That was in like episode 2 or 3 of the K-swap on this car. Not fun. We did go back and test it for continuity. Everything seemed to be okay. I've got a really funny story. I've got a very, very nice Fluke digital multimeter. Very nice setup. I don't remember where I got it. I think it was given to me on a job I was working once upon a time. I don't know how to use most of the settings on it. I'm no electrical engineer by any stretch. Plus with my contrast and color blindness, it would be kind of stupid for me to try to pursue a career in that. Well, Garth is my electrical guru. And he, for the longest time, now Garth does pretty well for himself. He lives in a very nice place in Yorktown, Virginia. He does pretty good. I love you, Garth. But he made do with like a $6 multimeter from AutoZone for as long as I've known him. It's just funny that I have this really nice Fluke and he's got that shit multimeter. But Bill the Fabricator, I love you, brother. Before he passed away last March, he gave Garth a really nice old Simpson multimeter, and this thing's in a box, like it's properly big. And so I took it down to Garth to give it to him to let him know it was a final gift from Bill. This thing has sat on a shelf in Bill's garage 15 years maybe, if not longer. So when we go down for the next episode where we do the wiring, you'll get to see Garth use his old Simpson, and he loves it. He's like, nothing's built like this anymore. So apparently that was a good thing for Garth to get his hands on. And then we might actually have him show me how to use my own Fluke digital multimeter. Hey, I keep no secrets here. What I'm good at, I'm good at. What I'm bad at, I'm bad at. But I at least try to learn. Alright, we're still not going to try to put the steering column back in. I've got a lot of the wires still labeled as to what I'm going to use them for. And so I want to make a Delphi style quick connect harness that I can tie in to the 8-pin connector on the IQ3. Now what I'm thinking about doing, since this car no longer has cruise control, and I honestly don't remember if it ever had cruise control. I think it did. It does. Okay, what I'm thinking about doing is getting the signal wire from the cruise controls and using those to cycle through the pages and the setup on the IQ3. That way I don't have to add any other buttons. It's right there on the stalk, so it'd be natural to the touch. No flicking the beam here. I should probably cut that out. Be professional. You got to be professional. Professional. Okay. I can't do the motion. Okay. I'm an adult. Okay. I can't do it. Okay. All right. So we use the cruise control professional. We'll use the cruise control stock to control the page features and the menu features of the IQ3. Garth, you get to try to figure that one out. It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, if the wire was there, you know, we could tap into it. So that's a really good idea, I think. I thought I was going to have to get under the car. Oh, let me show you some gadgets I picked up for this build. Why is that again? I've literally been looking for this for longer than I care to admit. God, I'm good. We're going to get Garth on the phone and see what all he wants me to bring.
Hello.
What up, brother man?
Hey.
Hey, I am recording this next episode, and I had to use the phone a friend feature. So,
phone a friend feature.
You can't even say it.
Phone a friend feature?
There you go.
Phone a friend creature.
That's it. All right. So what I've done so far is I've got the wiring harness off the engine completely. I've got the bulkhead wiring pass-throughs removed off the firewall. I've got the interior side bulkhead to ECU wiring. The ECU, the C203 stub connector that I made. I've got the C500 breakout harness that I made. Can you think of, and I've got the K-Series universal swap harness thing that has the relays for like the fuel pump and all that.
Okay.
Can you think of anything else wiring related that we might need?
ECU to dash?
The leads that go from the IQ3?
Yeah, they go up to the dash.
Yeah, I've got that with the
instruments you're going to have up there.
Yeah, I've got everything for the IQ3. It's CAN bus or whatever it uses. The 8-pin connector. I've got the, it's the CAN bus connector wiring. I think somewhere. I'll have to look to make sure I've got it. And
that plugs directly into the Honda ECU that you're running, right?
Well, it plugs directly into the Haltech ECU.
Haltech, yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
The crimper. Oh yeah, I got a new tool. I love it. Okay, so because you know we got to crimp on new fittings or new eyelets or whatever for like the battery cables and the grounds and all that.
Yeah.
So I got this tool. It's a hydraulic crimper, and it comes with all these different dies to crimp different kind of terminals. Like battery cables, engine grounds, some other stuff. I don't know what it does, but I got it. Got it on Amazon.
Okay.
So bring that. I'm going to bring my labeler too.
Okay.
So we can label things. Sound good to you?
Sounds fine to me.
I think it looked better than just, tape with handwritten stuff on there.
Yes.
Alright, so I got that. Where's my multimeter at? Oh, it's right here.
You just love showing off that multimeter you don't know how to use.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You just love showing off your multimeter that you don't know how to use.
I know how to turn it on.
Is it the horseshoey thing or the dotted line thing?
I've never said that.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I might have said that.
I might have that on video, actually.
Alright, I got that. I got my multimeter. Hey, I got a cheap digital multimeter like you used to use. Probably yours.
Yeah, I probably gave you one or two of them.
That's what Garth uses. That actually might be nicer than what he normally uses. And I brought the accessory pack for my flute. Alright, what else do we need? There's stuff in here I don't even know what it does to this multimeter. Like, what is this? What does that do?
I don't know. I'm on the phone with you. I can't really see.
It's like, it's a negative and a positive lead that goes into a black plastic clippy thing with a light bulb in it.
Black plastic clippy thing with a light bulb in it?
Yeah, that's a technical term.
Apparently it's with a black plastic clippy thing with a light bulb in it.
Yes. And the wires go to it.
Where the wires go?
They go into the black plasticky thing with the light bulb in it.
So just a set of leads with a light bulb on them?
Yes.
That would be a current indicator lamp?
Oh, I knew that. I just want to see if you knew it. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. You got anything to say, Garth?
No, I'm all good.
Thanks for watching.